Hey, what's up? I'm Cody the Coin Raptor, and for today's chart TA video, I'm going to go ahead and start with Ethereum first because this Ethereum is very close to breaking under this support level here. So what we have here in Ethereum is this ascending triangle here. We have the resistance here at about 1350, and then we have the support level at about 1268 or so. We're going to zoom in here a little bit. We're going to look at this. And you can actually kind of see that it's now starting to come under this support line right here. So that is a concerning development because it is broken under our support level. Now, we've seen previously that it has actually done this a couple times before here at 11 and 12 December, and then coming all the way back down here to about the 22nd of November. So what this means in practice is that it looks like, for now, this is kind of a preliminary analysis, but it looks like Ethereum has gone through a trend change in the short term. Now, I'm waiting for this to fully develop to see if the breakdown is confirmed or not. So in order to do that, what we want to see is we want to see a day. We want to see it close down under this level here at about 1263 and then print another red candle below this level and then move lower here than 1239. So if it does that and it moves below this 1239 level, this strong level of support, we could potentially see Ethereum return back to even as low as this 1100, 1150 level or so. And so we could potentially, like I said, get this short-term trend reversal, and Ethereum could be heading down to this 1150 level. And I think that's probably the most likely outcome of what we're seeing here for Ethereum, because right now it looks incredibly weak. We have the weekend coming up. Tomorrow is Friday, and as I usually say, the weekends are for selling. So we'll probably wind up getting some more selling pressure into Ethereum through the weekend, and we may even come back down here under at about 1150 or so, if it fails to hold this support here at 1236. I'll be posting this and more information like that on my Twitter if you're curious. So check out my Twitter. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move to Bitcoin as well. So Bitcoin, similar kind of pattern developing here. Bitcoin is farther away from the bottom here, from the support level at 17,250. So that's something that's close, but I'm going to be watching it very closely to see whether or not that this breaks down and we have a trend change. And if that's the case, then we could see Bitcoin come down here to 16,800. And then the next support level would probably be about 16,000 or so in that region. Now for Bitcoin, I'm going to also go ahead and cover the funding rate. So with the funding rate's going to give you an idea of the perpetual futures funding rate. So what that means in practice is the fact that you have either a positive or a negative value, and the positive value will indicate that you have generally more longs, and the negative value will indicate that you have more shorts on these perpetual contracts. So this is kind of, I like to use it as kind of a gauge of market sentiment. So right now, with the Bitcoin funding rate, we have a green funding rate. So even though the price has been decreasing right now, we're seeing longs enter in positions here and here and here and all through this area here. So what this means is that if the price keeps moving down, these longs can get trapped, and then we can actually wind up seeing a higher level of capitulation from longs, and longs will have to wind up liquidating. So that's always something to watch out for. We saw that previously a couple other times here. Anytime we have like this right here, where you have this green bump right here, you have this one right here. So we've had periods of longs gaining steam and then shorts coming in, and shorts have been pulling the price down a little bit, and then longs get trapped and then they get liquidated. So I think we have kind of a danger right now of longs getting ahead of themselves, just like they did a couple days ago ahead of the Fed meeting. So this is definitely something to watch. I'm going to be trying to pay attention to this as much as I can. And it is interesting to see that the longs decided to get in this position. They're definitely buying the dip in this case, coming down here to the 17,300 level, and they seem like they're losing a little bit of strength, because you can see this green, the funding rate here kind of decrease a little bit, so they're losing some strength in their buying conviction. Now, one thing I also want to talk about is the exchange reserve. So with the Bitcoin exchange reserve, we saw an even larger outflow of coins on the exchange. So that continues to be a theme through, I would say, the last couple of months, in which you have people pulling their money, pulling their Bitcoin off the exchange, right? Because this exchange reserve just shows you how many Bitcoin are on a collection of exchanges. So what that tells me right now is that there is very, very little faith in any sort of centralized institution for crypto and for Bitcoin. So people are self-custodying their own Bitcoin, which again, I think is definitely a good idea. I've said that before, and definitely I think it's a good idea. That's how I store my Bitcoin personally, as I keep them in a hard wallet, and I don't keep it on the exchange. And that seems to be a very good practice given what we've already seen with the capitulation of exchanges like FTX. I also want to talk about the Bitcoin NVT Golden Cross. So a quick update on this. So I said before that we had kind of this topping formation go out here, right? And when the NVT Golden Cross, when it crosses into this red zone and then it makes this kind of like this peak formation, that's usually the peak of Bitcoin that kind of leads to a local top of the Bitcoin price. So what happened here though is it was a little bit of a delay in the top. This ran maybe a couple of days or so behind the current Bitcoin price. And then, of course, we've had catalysts earlier this week that were the CPI pump, and then going into the FOMC, we saw a significant rise in the price here. But with the NVT Golden Cross, we've seen it exit the red zone, which is a good thing, frankly. That's actually more of a bullish sign than it sticking around in this red zone. So it's heading down out of the red zone, and so that could mean that we've already hit the top, and the price could potentially come back down again for a little bit. But what it means is that we're probably not likely to see another major pump, at least from this NVT Golden Cross perspective. It's called out the top here, this localized top, and it's right most of the time. We can zoom out and look at this. We have other times when it's done this, it's kind of been a little delayed. There's been a couple of days of delay and then followed by a price drop after that point. And so we're very close to that, where we're going to probably wind up seeing an additional price drop, and we've already seen a local top, at least according to this indicator. Now, as a reminder, I don't only use this indicator. I like other indicators as well, but this is an indicator that's accurate a majority of the time. And I still believe that the Bitcoin price is going to be heading lower in the near term, okay? Also, very important to point out, in addition to that, so I've checked out the Bitcoin options on Deribit here. And so Bitcoin options, I've talked about this a couple of times, but over here on the 30th of December, we have a massive amount of Bitcoin options that are set to expire on the 30th of December. So in about 2 weeks or so, these options contracts are going to have to be exercised. Okay, so it's a majority of calls right now, and a rising number of puts as well. This puts level wasn't nearly as high as it was before, but it seems like the number of puts has been increasing as traders are betting that Bitcoin's going to be heading lower. So that's something I always want to watch out for. There's also, if we zoom in on this level here, we go to the 30th of December. We can see here that they have what they call the max pain price here, right? And so there is some speculation about the max pain price and the effect that has on the Bitcoin price. But the theory is that the Bitcoin price will kind of gravitate towards the max pain price. Generally speaking, I've tried to backtest this a little bit. I don't think it's as accurate as it could be. So that's not something that I usually pay attention to. But if that's something that you're interested in, the max pain price is 19,000, and some people believe that the Bitcoin price will gravitate towards that level. But I don't, honestly. I don't think it's going to go towards 19,000 by the end of the month. But could be wrong. And if it does, then that's something that we'll wind up paying attention to more in the future, this max pain price. But what this means is that we're probably going to see some increased volatility towards the end of the month, or even maybe a little bit ahead of that, and we'll probably wind up seeing either some additional capitulation, or we'll wind up seeing some additional pumps in the opposite direction. So that's always possible when you get extreme volatility. Either you have a move to the upside or you have a move to the downside. And one other thing I want to show you is the addresses with a balance of greater than 1 Bitcoin. So this has been going up dramatically. I'm actually waiting for it to go close to 1 million. That would be an absolutely amazing point to reach, where you have almost 1 million addresses that hold at least 1 Bitcoin. Right now it's at 968,500. So that's always something that I like to pay attention to. That just goes to show you that people are still buying the dip. They're still trying to accumulate that target goal of at least 1 Bitcoin, and this capitulation in the price has allowed many people to increase the number of Bitcoin that they currently hold. But again, kind of in summary, I do expect the price is going to come back down again, especially if it can't hold this support level. I'm looking specifically at that support level. If it can't hold it, then we're definitely coming back down again. And if it does hold it, that would be bullish, because then you expect that it's going to be coming back up through here, and it will probably wind up breaking out here, 18,000. It's very close to this resistance level here, 18,000. So if it holds this level, then it's very likely to break 18,000, in which case that would be bullish. But for now, I'm waiting. I'm still at my money on the sidelines. I'm still waiting to see how this plays out. I have not been convinced either way that we're going to either have a major breakout or a major breakdown. So I'm waiting for things to play out and continuing to execute my DCA strategy. All right. So that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this content, let me know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to put out videos fairly often, but I'm not always going to be able to. And I've got some fantastic ideas for video this weekend, so definitely hope that you guys take a look at that and hit that subscribe button and the bell button to get the notifications for when the videos come out. All right. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day.